Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, hope you're all doing alright out there. It is a glorious spring day. It's nice and warm, and I thought what better to do than to get out into the country roads. I don't know if you've seen on social media, it kind of has made me chuckle. So for years and years, I've made videos in roads like the ones I'm about to go into, and no one's really said too much, because it's just English roads. But in short form content recently, there's been an awful lot of people going, Americans can't handle the fact that these are 60 mile an hour roads, and it's like, oh for crap, can we stop this Americans can't handle, Europeans can't handle crap? It's so stupid. And yeah, this road is 60 miles an hour. However, doing 60 on them isn't necessarily always possible nor safe. And if you do 60, say I do 60 mile an hour into that corner and someone's on the other side just coming along quite normally and I clatter into them, I'm going to be found at fault. And it will probably be dangerous driving, or driving that due care attention or wherever, It's not going to be good. Just because the road is 60 doesn't mean you can do 60. Now where it's open, and you can see ahead and stuff, then these roads are great for doing 60, officer. And only 60, obviously. I was about to say baby cows, but they're goats. Sorry, I won't be able to get close enough for you to see them. Just know there is a goat behind this hedge currently. There he is. Look. There's a goat. Hello, goat. Watch out for the farm dogs that are always scattered across this corner. I don't know what condition this road's going to be in, because I haven't been down it since before the winter time, and in the winter these roads just get pulled to pieces. Yeah, fly tipping, builder's rubbish, this is all the pretty standard stuff. Anyway, I do have a subject to kind of hit on today, and that's to talk about YouTube channels that you thought were individual creators that weren't. And what I mean by that is, what if I said, I made a video tomorrow and said, hey, so I'm going to be stepping down as, presenter for the Spicy 110 channel, thanks to my time with the Spicy 110 channel, and, I'm going to move off to other things, and then someone comes in and replaces me. You'd be like, what? No, you set this channel up from the beginning. It was just you. So what do you mean there was a company behind it? That kind of feeling you might have is exactly what I'm talking about, because that sort of thing keeps happening. Now, we've seen, the likes of the channels like Donut and Braille and a few others where, they were led by one guy with lots of faces on the channel. The people organising that then either didn't do what those people wanted, or didn't appreciate the fact that basically when the presenters become the channel, they kind of own the channel, even though, they're just a presenter. They leave and literally your channel leaves. It's not like you could just replace them, because people are loyal to people. And that's where I'm leading with this. Now, obviously, I don't think anyone was any great questions about things like Donut and things like that, about whether they were behind, backed by a company, because there were so many of them. It was obvious, it wasn't hidden. But just recently, there's been, the past couple of years, there's been a couple of channels where I was fully convinced that the channel was started, owned and run by one individual. And the reality of it is, it wasn't. They were just a presenter. From day one, they were a presenter. Now, that isn't in itself a problem, but where it starts getting a bit weird for me is when those channels then do things like patrons and ask for support and stuff like that. They always ask from the perspective of help me, help my channel, help me alone, not, I've not been asked to, this isn't been scripted in by my boss to ask for you to support me, but then the money goes to the channel, not the individual. And that to me isn't entirely honest. It feels a bit wrong, and that's why, as I say, if I turned around tomorrow and said, I'm going to step down as head of Spicy 110's production, you'd be like, wait a minute, I thought, like patrons and people who supported my channel on the way, I'd be like, but I thought I was helping an individual, get on and get through and grow. As I say, that's the feeling of like, that I get when I find out that, a channel isn't who they say they are. This is also kind of sad, because it falls in line with the thing that I've been thinking for, were those guinea fowl? Brimstone butterfly? They are. Obviously, guinea fowl are not wild here. People just have them on their land, and then they normally shoot them. Or they might use them as guards, because I think they're quite good at guarding like geese. Right. Sorry, where was I? Oh, we go for it. A tricky U-turn. Not put my foot down, but it was off the peg. Oh dear. Right, what was I getting at? For a while now, I've been saying YouTube seems to want to become more like network TV, and apparently this actually is something they've, under the surface, want to do. You know, they want to compete with Netflix and stuff like that. They want to have shows on that, you know, really high production, and the only way you get stuff like that, you can't get that from an individual creator. When the same guy who presses the record button, stands in front of the video, edits the video and uploads the video and pays the bills, when that person is the one that does everything, wow, they've mangled this area, you can't expect them to have the same production quality or volume of output as a channel that's being run by 5 or 6 people doing different jobs. And obviously when individuals have to compete with that, there's just no chance they're ever going to do it. So what ends up happening is the individual creators fall off, the almost network TV style shows, you know, come along, and YouTube help promote them and push them and make sure or help make them profitable, shall we say. Because that's what they want. Don't forget, YouTube used to fund stuff they wanted. It just feels like another one of those nails in the coffin for individual creators who want to actually do this for a job full time. The problem is when you remove it from being full time, there isn't the time to produce. It's even worse. So then it's a sad state of affairs. Broadcast yourself has turned into cable TV, in effect. And rather than going off into the subject of this, I'm just going to link a video where I previously talked about the fact that YouTube is losing the one thing it's got over everybody else, and that is educational, useful content. I wanted to do a little ring of those rows just to see what they're like. They're not as bad as they have been in previous years, they're just covered in gravel at the moment, so hopefully as the weather warms up a bit and we get some stickier tarmac, it'll be fun to take the DR down there. Around the other lanes around here. That's kind of the worst one, so if that one's not too bad, I assume the other ones are alright. And of course the other problem with this is obviously it kind of fits into that subscription package. You know, they've made YouTube so infuriating to use without premium or ad blocker if you can get one to work right, that, you know, it might put people off. So with all the premium subscriptions you have to pay, well, people pay for like Netflix and Disney and maybe YouTube Premium and I don't know what the other ones, Hulu, Prime, you know, all sorts. There's so many subscriptions, even apps, even pieces of technology, devices such as your headset could be a subscription package. So when it comes down to the individual creator asking, it becomes a lot bigger ask, I think, than you know, paying for an entire platform, which is why I say premium is a good thing to do to help creators if you're not going to support them individually through like things like Patreon. And the reason for that is YouTube share a lot. Basically, I think it's 45% of your fee goes to YouTube for their fees, and the rest of it is divided up between the people you watched in that month. So say you watched 50% one channel and 50% of another, what's left out of that 55% is going to get split between the two of them equally. So it really does make a huge contribution towards the channel in comparison to just a normal regular view where you might get 0.0001 pence. You may have seen LTT talk about this, and it's great that he put those numbers together because I've been wondering them for a while and now I know, so thanks Linus, appreciate it mate. So I can't help but feel as an individual creator that doesn't have, you know, editors and a writing team and God knows what, I feel like I'm part of a dying breed. And that's sad because you don't get the same unique perspectives you can get from true individuals. Like the fact that I've had so many people contact me and say, oh, I'd love to edit your videos, or we could edit your videos for you. And it's like, how could you be me? Editing is so much of it. Maybe not so much these days because I'm doing a lot of subject stuff, you know, so it's maybe you could chop that together, but at the same time it may not feel the same, and that may be part of what people have watched for this long. So that's, and also obviously, as I say, just doing everything yourself is it's a real thing. It's helped me learn so many skills. Also, YouTube is about to do a thing where basically the subscriptions button used to work like a subscriptions button. Well, that doesn't work anymore. So then they made notifications so people could definitely hear it. But now they're going to turn the yes, I want all notifications into no, I'm not going to get all notifications. They're scared that by people getting too many notifications, that they'll end up turning off all notifications. Now, it's one of the reasons I don't ask you to press the bell, is because I don't think you want a notification every time I upload a video. I genuinely don't think people want that. I think you want to come to YouTube, maybe go to your subscription page, where did I last see, click, oh, there's a few new videos I want to watch, and then you start watching them, or at least that's the way I do it. You know, I don't watch TV ever, so, you know, if I'm going to watch anything like TV related while we're eating dinner or anything, it's going to be YouTube. Way better quality, way more interesting. Now, equally, I can see the positive in this, that, you know, even though it doesn't do me well, I can appreciate, which is, whereas before, people who wanted to make TV shows or, you know, wanted to do a series of some sort, had a good idea for an interesting thing, would have had to have got network TV involved, who then would have taken over the whole thing and changed what they wanted. So now, YouTube does allow individual series creators to make stuff free, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like the same thing as the individual creator, but they are a group. But they wouldn't have that freedom should they go to the network TV. So, yeah, very right. As I say, I don't mind basically partially destroying my own arguments and proving why it actually is kind of a reasonable thing for them to do. It's just a bit sad because I'm unfortunately on the losing side, being the individual creator. And what I said in the past was right. You know, I said if you do things honestly, eventually companies will stop liking you for doing that because they're worried you're going to say something they know is the fact. It's worth thinking about. It's going to change YouTube over the coming years, and whether we can stop that, whether we can direct it in a different way, whether we can salvage individual creators somehow, I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new here. Don't worry about the notification bell. It doesn't do shite. Or it won't do soon. Having said that, subscriptions haven't done for a long time. Most people just go by their recommended, right? And that's one of the other problems that I'm going to keep very short here. Do you ever find yourself looking at your recommended and going, I've seen half these videos and the other ones I don't want to watch. Refresh. No, you've given me the same videos again. Refresh. Okay, no, that's the same videos in a different order. Refresh. New to you, a video which is actually showing you on the screen the fact that you've previously watched it. Recommended. The whole algorithm of YouTube needs to be freaking fried. Anyway, till the next one. Bye-bye.